Everybody, welcome to 10 to Life. We're doing things a little bit different, as you can see today. I had no intentions of going live with you guys, but as we were talking in Discord, I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to hop on a live. And so I'm not where I normally sit, but you can see my entire setup of how I normally film behind me. And we're going to just kind of do this live a little different than we've done in the past and use it more of almost like a crowdsourcing type vibe. I'm going to start pulling things up on the screen as we talk about them, because to be honest, I just first heard about this case a few hours ago as well. I've been able to do a little bit of a dive into it. And so I have like all my tabs open, all my pictures, a map of the country open. So we're going to go through all of those things and then just kind of go through it together. But I'll show you. I tried to do the virtual background to where it would like look like my other videos. I'll show you here. It's going to load, but I feel like it just looks like a weird green screen, so I decided let's just kill that. So we're going a little cash today. I've got overalls on. It's Friday, so we're just going to do it that way. So welcome. For anybody who is brand new and checking out this channel for the first time, hi. I promise I usually look much more professional than this, but my name is Annie Elise, and this is where we come to talk about everything going on with true crime. And for everybody in the chat and the 10 to Lifers here, you get it. You already know the deal. So let's see. We're going to talk today. We'll probably end up talking about a few things, I'm guessing, but we're going to talk about this missing family from Michigan. It is very bizarre. So a family of 4 is now missing, and apparently the dad of this family made a 911 call. It says the early hours of Sunday, or it says right after midnight on Sunday. So I don't know if that technically means it was, Saturday night after midnight leading into Sunday, or if it was Sunday after midnight, technically Monday, or what that is. So if you guys have that answer, please let me know. But apparently he made this 911 call right after midnight on Sunday. And I'm going to play it for you because it is very bizarre. He talks about that it is an issue of national security, that he alludes to it being because he has information about 9/11, and then says that there's people who want to wipe him off the face of the earth, and how he says, I know this sounds crazy, I'm a Christian, so-and-so can vouch for me, but he's also speaking very robotic, at least to me when I heard it. That's what it sounded like, and it's just an unsettling call. So he makes this call, and then the entire family goes missing. Well, now they have been seen at a gas station. I have some of that footage here. Let me just share my screen with you guys. And so we're going to kind of just go through all of this. Let me show you this tab. Where is it? This one. So they were seen here in the gas station, and I also have a picture of the van. The son was apparently wanting to use the gas station attendant's phone to make a phone call. A lot of weirdness. So why don't we start with the 911 call, because some of you may have heard it, some may not, but it at least will kind of ground everybody and give you a refresher, even if you already have heard about it. So let me play that, and I'm going to actually just play the news report with it. It's like 2 minutes, so you can really see everything. So let me just share my audio here. Okay, and
a big story tonight. Police continue their search for a missing Newaygo County family. Nobody has seen or heard from them since Sunday night. Tonight, we're hearing the 911 call from earlier that day when the father called police to his home. Newside's Kyle Mitchell has been following this story and is live now with the latest. Kyle.
Brian, the Fremont police chief says they have no indication of where the family might be, but they're hopeful that they're safe. He says that officers were at the home this Sunday before they went missing. A family of 4 missing without a trace. Just a bizarre 911 call from hours before they disappeared.
Yes, everyone is okay. I need some police protection immediately.
Fremont police say Anthony Sirigliano sounded paranoid when he called officers to his home around midnight on Sunday.
It is of vital national interest. It is related to September 11th, and people want to erase me from the face of the earth. It is related to September 11th, and people want to erase me from the face of the earth. I'm not.
Sorry, guys, I realized I was muted. So what I was saying is I'm going to pause it really quick here, and I'm going to play it again. But earlier when I mentioned that he sounds kind of robotic here, if I didn't know any better, I would think that maybe this was like a voice translated message, because he's like, this is vital information. This is of national interest. It's very cut and dry, which I don't know how he normally speaks, but I'm going to play it from the top because there's quite a bit more for you to listen to as well. But that's what I mean by it. Just something about it sounds somewhat robotic to me anyway, but tell me what you think.
National interest. It is related.
Paranoid when he called officers to his home around midnight on Sunday.
It is a vital national interest. It is related to September 11th, and people want to erase me from the face of the earth. I'm not crazy. Mr. Keating knows me. I'm a Christian. I just need some help, and then the U.S. government will take it from here. I know this sounds crazy. You don't have instructions for this.
Really what my officers were spending a great deal of time doing is talking to him and making sure everybody was safe and trying to make sure that mental illness wasn't putting anybody in jeopardy, because honestly, that's a very abnormal thing to say and make a police report of.
The police chief says officers were at the home about 45 minutes to an hour and left after determining no one appeared in danger.
We don't see any signs of violence. We don't see any signs of foul play right now. There's no signs of struggle inside the home. But it's just everyone we've talked to, whether they be a lifelong friend to Suzette or family members, they all describe this to be extremely abnormal behavior.
Family didn't want to speak on camera, but told News 8 Anthony seemed paranoid on Saturday night. They say he's very protective of his family and wouldn't harm them. Anthony's mom talked to him on the phone around 4 p.m. Sunday and thought he seemed better. When she couldn't reach anybody by phone all day Monday, she stopped at their house 2 different times to check on them. At that point, their minivan was gone and the doors were locked. Later that night, a neighbor found Suzette's mom, who has dementia, wandering around the neighborhood. That's when the search began.
We just heard through Facebook.
One of the Sirigliano's neighbors, Becca Berggren, says the community is in shock.
The 2 boys were always out walking with, I think, a grandma. Super friendly boys. They'd wave to everybody when you drove by. Super nice. We had talked to them, and the grandma at one point, they walked by and we were outside playing with our kids, and they came by and talked with us, and they were a super sweet family.
Police believe the family took off in their 2005 silver Toyota minivan. The chief says at this point, they don't know where it might be.
So I'm going to get into that in a second here, but you know whose voice it reminds me of? Not that this means anything, because I know they said he was paranoid, and a lot of you in the chat are saying it sounds like he's reading something. It reminds me of Warren Jeffs. I'm saying it right. It's not Jeff Warren, it's Warren Jeffs, right? The cult leader guy, where when he has all these audio recordings where it's just very like,
I need some police protection immediately.
Fremont police say
it gives me the creeps. Okay, so something that is also just so odd about that is the fact that they found the mother of the adults, the grandmother, I would say, walking throughout the neighborhood because she has dementia, and that they left her behind. So if they left willingly, which I believe they did, and I'm going to talk more about that here in a second, it makes you wonder why they would leave the grandmother behind unless they thought that they were fleeing and in danger, perhaps, and they didn't want her to be involved. Maybe because she has dementia, they thought she would slow them down in a sense, but then why not leave a note? And if the doors were locked, how did she get outside to wander is my question. If the doors were locked when they went to the house, did they take her outside before leaving, lock the doors so that a neighbor would find her? A lot of uncertainty around that, but something feels weird with that. So let me know what you guys think. Then, so yeah, Warren Jeffs, he does sound like that. It's so weird. So then let me pull up this article and just kind of go through this with you, because they were spotted at a gas station. And, you know, what I'll do is I'll just share this on the screen and kind of read it as we go. I'm telling you, we're doing things a little different today. And if you like this format, let me know. It's going to be more cash. Okay, So here you can see that it just is recapping. They left their Fremont home on Sunday. They were spotted then Monday at a gas station in the Upper Peninsula. And here's some footage there. And there was actually some conversation about this in a Facebook group. And people were like, this woman came forward saying, I saw them at the gas station at my place of work. And everybody is like, you know, not true, or why wouldn't you call it in sooner? But it is true, and it's verified because she went immediately back to the surveillance footage and found it. So she says that they stopped for gas around 10:40 a.m. Monday. The mother and the two sons came into the gas station convenience store to use the restroom. One of the sons asked to use a phone to make a call, but didn't know how to use it. Now, I am unsure if this is true or not, but I did hear somewhere that one or both of the sons is autistic. And so I don't know if that would have anything to do with maybe not knowing how to use the phone, which son it was, and what the deal is there. So she goes on to say he was acting a little strange, so we were just watching him. The only reason we paid attention to them is because the boys were a little different. I thought, I wonder what's wrong. Like, why is he using the phone? Nobody else is asking. It was just a little odd. So then she goes on to say that they were there for about 15 minutes. They gassed up, bought some food, and then they arrived from the east and then headed back the way they came. So I want to go into this map really quick, and I think I have a close. Let me pull this one up. So they came in from the east. Let me switch my screens here really quick. Here's the difference from where they went missing and then here. So if they're coming in from the east to go here and then heading back where they came from, I was looking at a map and I think that they're heading to Canada. And I know that sounds crazy, but let me explain why. I pulled up a map of the United States. And if you look here at, where was I? Right here. So here's where they were in Michigan. They come up and over, and then right here where my mouse is where the gas station is. Everything outlined here in red is a road. So in order to, unless they wanted to cross over this whole thing and go all the way up through Wisconsin and Minnesota to get to Canada, they would have to go back the direction they came, back to this road, which is the one they crossed over when they split and made a left. And then you can go boom, right up here into Canada. So if that's the case, which I think it is because they're going north, I don't know. But if they're going into Canada, I would imagine that it's because they are fleeing and maybe trying to get out of the United States. But something that, and you guys might have the answer, something that just isn't really sitting right is not only the phone call, and they say that maybe he was paranoid and suffering from delusions, but the mention of 9/11, and then he says, he says something like, let the government come in and like, you know, assess everything or something to like loop them in, which I would imagine, and I'm not a 9/11 conspiracy theorist. I don't, you know, whatever. You believe what you want. You know, I know a lot of people have mixed opinions, but I would imagine that if he was alluding to the fact that he was some whistleblower about 9/11, that it would be the government that would be trying to shut him up. So why would he be alerting the government? Unless I completely am off base there, but something about that seems really odd to me. Thank you, Kristen, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. But why loop in the government and tell him to forward it to the government if you're worried that if somebody's coming after you because they want to wipe you off the face of the earth because of the information you have about 9/11? If you had information, wouldn't that information be from the government? So wouldn't you be hiding from them, I guess is my point. And so I'm not going to be redundant, I promise, but let's just listen to that call one more time and what he exactly says. Because that was the first thing that really stuck out to me, was him wanting to involve the government. That just seems bizarre if you're, you know, again, a whistleblower of sorts. So let's go back here one more time.
A family of 4 missing without a trace. Just a bizarre 911 call from hours before they disappeared.
Yes, everyone is okay. I need some police protection immediately.
Fremont police say Anthony Sirigliano sounded paranoid when he called officers to his home around midnight on Sunday.
It is of vital national interest. It is related to September 11th, and people want to erase me from the face of the earth. I'm not crazy. Mr. Keating knows me. I'm a Christian. I just need some help, and then the U.S. government will take it from here. I know this sounds crazy. You don't have instructions for this.
Really what my officers were spending a great deal of time doing is talking to him and making sure everybody was safe.
Another odd part about that was he says, I know this sounds crazy, which usually, not for nothing, but if people are losing their minds, they won't have the poise and tact to basically calm down. Like, I'm a Christian. I know this sounds crazy. It's not. Usually they're a little bit more, passionate, so to speak, about what they're saying. But then for him to say, I know you don't have instructions on how to deal with this, which I'm sure he just means like, I'm sure you've never dealt with something like this before. It's just very weird ways to phrase everything he's saying. Thank you so much, Brenda, for the super sticker. And thank you, MME Duvenet, for the super sticker as well. So there's something weird with that. Let me go over here to the chat. Because again, based on where the sighting was, and let me go back actually over to that article. Based on where the sighting was at that gas station, he would, and they said he went back the direction he came. Let me pull this guy up one more time. So they say he came back if they're coming up this way, there's only one road, which I'll show you that map again here, where this road breaks and you can make a left to get here. So they said he went back that direction. He would have to go there. He'd either come back down through here or he'd go up, and boom, right here, you're in Canada. But again, I guess at the same point, that wouldn't make sense either, because if you're trying to loop in the U.S. government because it's a matter of national security, why flee the country also, right? Hold on, where did that go? Let me open this back up. Okay, so here's that map again. So if we zoom in here on Michigan. Okay. So Fremont's right over here. He came up this road, okay? Up this road, made a left, and then this is the gas station he was seen at. Then he went back the way he came. So at this point, the red is the road. So you either go up to Canada or you go back down to Michigan. So I think that he is probably up in here. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. Diana saying you do not have to have passports to get into Canada from Michigan. You have to have an extended Michigan license. What's an extended Michigan license? Is that like a real ID? I've never heard of that. Ashley, thank you for the super chat. Let's see. I am late to the party, but I'm super excited to catch you live. YouTube notifies me of new uploads, but never when you go live. Well, I'm so glad you're here. I didn't plan on going live until about 20 minutes ago, so I'm so glad you made it. A lot of you guys are saying they still check at the border. Oh, it is a real ID. Enhanced driver's license. So I would imagine that's like a real ID, right? Thank you, Kay Bush, so much for the super chat sticker. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing. You guys are seriously the best. And Nicole Bryant, thank you so much. So let's see. Let me go back over to this, because there isn't a lot of new information that's coming out regularly, which is so odd. The latest thing was, of course, the sighting at the gas station. But if we go, let's see. I don't know what they do for work either. I know there's been a lot of questions surrounding that of what the father does for work, but I haven't seen that confirmed anywhere. Yes, their car did show up, Richard, on CCTV at the gas station. And I have that right here. I can pull that up. So it was verified that it was them. Let me just pull that up. Here you can see their van when it was leaving. And then let me just go ahead while we're talking. I'm going to just pull up. This guy. Let's see. So I guess we can kind of just talk through it and figure we don't, Edery, I don't think we do know what the father does yet for a living. I mean, I'm sure it's only a matter of time before we figure this out. So BB, this is interesting. Strange the wife hasn't put a stop to this, especially in light of leaving her mother alone. Unless they truly are in danger or believe they are in danger, which I know it doesn't seem like that would be the way to go about it. But if they truly did believe that they were in danger, or if she believed her husband and what he was saying, I could see leaving the mother behind, wanting her to be protected, thinking that, again, maybe she would slow them down and maybe they thought they would have to move fast. They would have to survive in the car overnight. Maybe they didn't want to put the mother through that. So they thought best to just leave her behind. But it feels like there is definitely some paranoia happening, certainly, and maybe some conspiracy theories. I wonder if anything like this has ever happened in the past. I wonder if anybody's going to come forward saying that he's ever kind of suffered from delusions like this in the past. I wonder what the mother's involvement is. Look, I'm not trying to get like super crazy judgy either, but I want to show you this picture because another thing, the second I saw it, felt weird to me. But again, I'm probably overthinking things, but let me just show you this. Like this picture right here, I don't know, the posture, the hands crossed, something about it just felt kind of, I don't know. Again, I'm probably just reading into it. So you guys are probably all going to go in the comments and be like, Annie, shut up. You don't even know what you're talking about. She just has good posture and she's polite and crossing her hands, blah, 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 blah. But again, then once they got to the gas station, the son is asking to use the phone. Clearly they gave him the phone because then they said he didn't know how to use it. So who was he going to call? Was he going to try and call someone for help saying, hey, my dad is losing his mind right now. We're driving to Canada. He thinks people are after us. Come help. But then unfortunately didn't know how to use the phone. And if that were the case, wouldn't the mother have intervened because she was the one inside with the two boys? And wouldn't she have used the phone herself? Because clearly she must have overheard him asking to use the phone. So why wouldn't she have used the phone herself to make the call unless he did it in secret, which we don't know yet or not, away like behind the mom's back, because maybe she was going in with them to make sure they didn't talk to anybody or do anything, because maybe she's on board alongside with her husband and they're both in this and the boys are who are trying to notify that something's up. Iowa Girl, thank you for the super chat. Enhanced ID measure that birth certificate and social security number have been verified through the state. We will all need them to fly soon. Yeah, I have a real ID too. I just didn't know if that's what is saying is needed to cross the border from Michigan into Canada. And then Dihua is saying that the father lost his job a few years ago. Do we know what his job was? Was it in any sort of government agency? Thank you, Starlit Sky, for the super. Lindsay, autistic or not, I'm sure a lot of young kids have never seen a regular phone before. I mean, if it's a rotary phone or a payphone, maybe not, but which I wonder if it was a payphone, because I do know a lot of kids don't have any idea how to use a payphone and they have no idea what collect calling is. So, and most people don't have just coins jingling around all the time. So you see. maybe it's, I'm not going to say this right. Foie Ledoux? Am I saying that right? And for those who don't know what that fancy word is, trust me, I didn't either, so I just Googled it. And it says foie Ledoux, I don't think I'm saying that right, is defined as an identical or similar mental disorder affecting two or more individuals, usually the members of a close family. 2 case reports of this condition are presented with a brief review of the literature. Oh, so both of them suffering from a very similar or shared psychosis, it says. Okay. Which could make sense. Folie à deux. That's how you say it. Folie à deux. Well, I just learned something new today because I've never heard that in my life. Let me see. I agree, Ducky, but it sounded, I had mentioned that it sounded robotic, but it sounded like he could have totally been reading something off. Something just, and again, I've never heard his voice anywhere else, and I wonder if somebody else could come forward, perhaps his mother, because she talked to him on the phone at 4 p.m. that day. Is this the way he normally speaks? Is this kind of his cadence as he's speaking and, the speed in which he speaks? Because something felt not rehearsed, but very matter of fact, but also dry. I don't know if that makes sense. Let's see. I don't know who the person is. I believe it's like maybe a chief in the office or another officer, because he does say his name as though he works within the local law enforcement area where he must have called. Oh, deja vu. He has a LinkedIn. Search in Google. Let's do it. Let me share my screen and we'll just kind of roll through this together until we find the right one. All right. No, I don't. Wait. I don't see anything. Oh, here we go. Financial instruments investor. Goal-driven, methodical, and concept to execution professional. What's this? Says he's still CEO. Uh-oh. I think I found the connection. Hold on. Let me share my new window. Why isn't it showing all my windows as I'm going? World Trade, manufacturer, trading company, buying agent, company information, business type. Hold on. My grace is sufficient for thee. My strength is made perfect weakness. I mean, there's scripture, and he said he's a Christian, so that makes sense. Oh, shoot. Back. Sorry, I did not realize that the phone number would be on there. I did not mean to do that. Let's see. Let me go back over here. U.S. District Courts, Gerber Life Insurance. That's interesting. So this company that he is the CEO of, which I'm guessing it's self-employed and self-made company, our firm utilizes real-time streaming statistical predictive analysts to trade financial markets. All right, let me bop over here to the chat really quick. Can you share, Allie, if you work in finance, what does he exactly do? And this seems like it's his own company. So I'm guessing is this just a fancy way of saying he watches the market and then they make strategic suggestions on what to trade? A lot of you guys are saying shared psychosis. I think it is his own company because, and sorry, I guess that was a little fuzzy when I went to it. I wasn't sharing the screen the best. Let me go back to it really quick for you. Maybe I just need to like share my entire computer. So this is the landing page. So you can see he put scripture there on the landing page. And then we do financial instruments investment research. Laylam, that's what he is basically implying, that he knows something important regarding 9/11 that somebody wants to shut him up about, and that he's like the whistleblower. Yeah, so basically he gives people his 2 cents for a fee. Okay, so basically it's just trading in the market. It's a fancy way of basically saying he analyzes the stock market and knows how to trade, which anybody could create their own company and do that, whether they're good at it or not. Let's see. I'm looking, I see my Discord is popping off. One of you is saying, it is very strange. I think that he either knows insider trade secrets or lost somebody a lot of money with a bad investment. The U.S. District Courts thing is a bit sus as well, because if he worked IT, he'd have access to literally everything. And he was at the U.S. Courts for 5 years. But he was only there up until... But he wasn't even there. Yeah, he wasn't there during 9/11. He was there 2008 to 2013. And then he worked for Gerber Life Insurance for another 5 years and then started his own company. It looks like he got laid off the year before COVID, and then he started his own company in March 2019. Just me. I initially thought paranoid schizophrenia, but now I believe that he is onto something. Interesting. So let's do that really quick. Let's just do a quick little poll here. And, instead of having you guys put the numbers in the chat, I'm actually just going to go ahead and create the poll in the chat because I feel like that's easier for everybody's sanity. So let me do that really quick. let's just go ahead and throw that in. So it says that he, on his LinkedIn, which who knows if he's had a job since then, but on his LinkedIn, it says that he worked at Gerber, the baby company, as an IT senior manager, but it was Gerber, the life insurance branch, apparently. And he worked there through January 2019. It, of course, doesn't say if he left on his own or if he was fired. But then 2 months after leaving there, it looks like he started this new company called Sabin, S-A-B-N Enterprises, which is basically a trade in the market. I don't think that he would be some of you guys are saying, I hope he doesn't turn out to be a family annihilator. It doesn't strike me as that off the bat, only because they left the mother behind, unless that was like the wife just begging, please leave my mother behind. And if he does annihilate them thinking he is going to save them, something feels odd though. Let's see. Wow, I'm shocked. You guys are pretty split on this poll as far as him being paranoid or if his fear is valid. I mean, it's 60-40, which I definitely thought it was going to skew way higher on the paranoia side. That's true. That's a great point. Everything. Maybe grandma had no passport or no real ID. That's absolutely valid. Possibly. I think it's so interesting because they locked the door. When the police arrived, the doors were locked and she was outside and then seen wandering the neighborhood. So did they purposefully remove her from the house before they locked up and left? Also, I'd be curious to know, they searched the house, right? Did they find any belongings, any cell phones, any tech left behind, any emails? Did they bring anything of value or importance? I'd have a lot of questions. I believe that they were homeschooled. Yes, I will play it one more time so that you guys can hear it. Again, it's like robotic, Warren Jeffs style, possibly reading from a script. Feels weird. Feels weird.
He says that officers were at the home this Sunday before they went missing. A family of 4 missing without a trace. Just a bizarre 911 call from hours before they disappeared.
Yes, everyone is okay. I need some police protection immediately.
Fremont police say Anthony Sirigliano sounded paranoid when he called officers to his home around midnight on Sunday.
It is of vital national interest. It is related to September 11th, and people want to erase me from the face of the earth. I'm not crazy. Mr. Keating knows me. I'm a Christian. I just need some help, and then the U.S. government will take it from here. I know this sounds crazy. You don't have instructions for this.
Really what my officers were spending a great deal of time doing is...
So again, I know this sounds crazy. I know you don't have instructions for this. Mom's phone was left behind and dad's phone turned off. Thank you, Charles, for the super sticker. I appreciate it so much. I agree, Rachel. There's something about it with the mom but left behind. I think they wanted her to be safe, whether it's valid or paranoia. I agree. And you know what? We'll do another poll here because I am curious. Look, I'm not trying to say that I'm always right. I definitely am wrong more times than I would like to be. But something is saying to me, based on where he was last seen and that road and where they saw him drive towards, that they're driving to Canada. But guys, I've been wrong before and I'll be wrong again. So let me know what you think. And I guess I want to know too, as we go back to this, the conversation about the gas station sighting. The mother and the 2 sons went into the gas station, which, hold on though, really quick, actually. Let me see if we can find any recent pictures on Facebook, because this is something that I'm thinking of now. And I know because I am definitely not a natural blonde. Was the hair bleached and colored? Let me see if I can zoom in on that, because there is zero regrowth on that. Regrowth on that. And let me go back here. I wonder. Hold on, guys. I'm just trying to go back and find something really quick. Oh no, she's still pretty light from there. Never mind. Sorry, guys. I'm losing my mind. Let's see. I don't think it's a wig. Her, because if you look at that other picture I had showed you that I felt like was a little, like you can see here too. Where'd she go? She has no real regrowth there either. It does look like fresh bleach. That's what I was thinking too. But if you look at the photo of her, which let me pull this up. Let me actually just pull this one up again. It looks like she never really has regrowth. So I don't know if that's her natural color. It doesn't look like it. Maybe it is, which who cares? That's not here nor there, but still. You can see here. See, there's still no regrowth or root. But she has dark brows, so it can't be her natural color. So does she just bleach it regularly all of the time? It's not. It doesn't look like a wig. This is shadowing, I think, behind here. Huh. Rachel, I don't think they went through Wisconsin though, because watch. Let me pull this back up one more time. I keep closing these stupid windows. I need to chill. Okay, so they drove up through Michigan here, and then they went here to the gas station. But the gas station footage and the attendant said they drove back the way they came. If they were to go through Wisconsin, they would have gone the opposite direction of, they would have kept going. But if they turned around and went back the way they came, that means they're turning this way, which means they're either going back down to Michigan or up to Canada. To me, at least. Diane, I agree. It's a very odd statement to say. Thank you, Alyssa. I appreciate it. He's going to drive in a confusing manner. Teresa, that's what I keep asking for. What do you guys keep asking for? Sorry. Oh, quick recap. Okay. Family of 4 is missing from Michigan. It's a husband and a wife and their 2 sons. The husband made a very bizarre and alarming 911 call over the weekend, where he basically said that people want to wipe him off the face of the earth because he has information about 9/11 and that this is an issue of national security. Then the whole family vanishes. They left behind the wife's mother, who has dementia. They locked up the house when they left, but the mother was left outside, apparently wandering the neighborhood. They were then spotted at a gas station on Monday around 10:40 a.m. The mother and the 2 sons went into the convenience store part of the gas station, bought food, bought snacks. They filled up their tank. One of the sons asked to use the phone, but apparently didn't know how to use the phone. Reportedly, they both may suffer apparently from autism, I guess. And so I don't know if that's why he didn't know how to use the phone, or if it's because it was a payphone or a rotary phone and, younger kids just have no idea how to use those things. but then they left and went back the way they came. So a few things. People are saying that perhaps the father was paranoid and delusional, and that the mother also is suffering from that, and it's this shared delusion. And the son was trying to use the phone to alert somebody to come help them, to say, hey, what's going on? My family's basically had a psychotic break. Someone come help us. But we don't know. He never used the phone. I hope that was a good enough recap. And if you guys need me to play the 911 call again, I know I've played it 3 times, but it's a quick listen, so let me know. KC Glass, first of all, thank you so much for the super chat. Cruz, being 19 years old at the time of the shootings, the decision comes 19 days before his birthday. Jewish geometry chaos equals 19 Nicholas Cruz equals 67 prime. 19 murder by numbers is calling people as well. I'm sorry, I have no idea what this means. I'm really sorry. Can you please jump back in the chat and explain this? Is this one of those like number things, like the number 7 or whatever that is? I don't know. Maybe it's just Friday and I'm lost, but I'm lost. Are you sure he didn't say we don't have instructions for this? Well, let's take another listen. Let's see.
Brian, the Fremont police chief says they have no indication of where the family might be, but they're hopeful that they're safe. He says that officers were at the home this Sunday before they went missing. A family of 4 missing without a trace. Just a bizarre 911 call from hours before they disappeared.
Yes, everyone is okay. I need some police protection immediately.
Fremont police say Anthony Sirigliano sounded paranoid when he called officers to his home around midnight on Sunday.
It is a vital national interest. It is related to September 11th, and people want to erase me from the face of the earth. I'm not crazy. Mr. Keating knows me. I'm a Christian. I just need some help, and then the U.S. government will take it from here. I know this sounds crazy. You don't have instructions for this.
Really what my officers were spending a great deal of time doing is talking to him and making.
No, he said you don't have instructions for this. Hold on, though. Let me look something up. Hold on. That's the very first time that I have ever heard that this 911 call was 45 minutes long. Let me see if I can find it. Alyssa, do we know when they were reported missing? I'm from Michigan. If they were reported missing before going to Canada, they would have been stopped. I don't even know for sure that they're in Canada, but apparently on Monday, they were seen at that gas station at 10:40 a.m. It wouldn't take long to get into Canada, so it is certainly possible that they got there before any of this hit the mainstream media. But I don't know if they were actually reported as missing or if after this 911 call, somebody followed up. It's really hard to find a lot of these details, but somebody is saying, suicide up. I really want Annie to know that autism has nothing to do with the kid not knowing how to use the phone. Okay, thank you. Thank you for educating me. I wasn't sure. Maybe a comorbid developmental disorder, but not autism. Okay, thank you for letting me know. So somebody is saying that the 911 call was 45 minutes. So I'm going to see if I can find this here. Let's see what else was found. Thank you, Green Grandma, for the super sticker. Slow the chat. Okay, sorry guys. Yeah, let me slow the chat. And then anybody who's watching this who's also in my Discord, if you have that link for the 45-minute 911 call, can you just drop it in there? Because that'll be faster than me searching for this. So let me slow the chat really quick while we're doing this. Okay, let me see if I can find this. He also worked for New Millennium, so airports, flying fields, and terminal service as a chief operating officer. A COO, that's a chief operating officer. But do we know what the dates were for that? Yeah, he visited the home for 45 minutes. So is that what people are confusing with the 911 call? I can't imagine that somebody would tie up the lines of 911 for 45 minutes. That doesn't make much sense. It's being said that both children are autistic, but I don't know if that's true or not. Wow, my niece and nephew knew the kids. My niece was the last person to contact them. Interesting. Was anything said in that call? When was that? Okay, sorry. So then, yeah, somebody must have just gotten the information wrong. They talked for 45 minutes, yes, at their house. So the 911 call was not 45 minutes. I was going to say, that seems odd. Ow. Let's see. All right, let me see here. I'm going to look something up really quick, guys. Keep chatting, keep chatting. You know what? I know exactly what I'm going to do. We are going to go down this dark rabbit hole together right now because when in doubt, go to Reddit. Am I right? That doesn't sound good. Hold on. Let's see. What's this? Open. Oh, that's weird. Somebody's saying by the look of the pictures, the wife and the sons look too thin. That's not great. That's concerning. Seen it. What's this? Okay, wait, hold on. Here's another 911 call. It's the same one, but another link. I haven't listened to it yet, so I apologize in advance if it's the exact same thing we just listened to, but let's do this.
I'm not crazy. Mr. Keating knows me. I'm a Christian. I just need some help, and then the U.S. government will take it from here.
New tonight, part of a 911 call Tony Sirigliano made hours before he, his wife, and 2 teenage sons with autism disappeared from their Fremont home. Good evening, everyone. I'm Juliette Dragas. At 9:30 tonight, the Fremont police chief told me there's no news. They're still looking for Tony, Suzette, Brandon, and Noah Sirigliano. No one's heard from the family since early Sunday morning, hours after that 911 call was made. Police are looking for a 2005 Toyota minivan like this one with a Michigan plate DJL 1982. We have been following this developing story all day. 13 on your side's Trevier Gonzalez joins us now with the latest.
Yeah, Juliet, the neighbors were caught off guard by the news of this missing family. And of course, you did call to the chief for an update. And at this point, that family has still not been found.
This don't make sense. It's such a nice family. What's going on?
Authorities have not been able to track Tony Sirigliano's cell phone. His wife, Suzette, and sons Brandon and Noah Sirigliano left their phones at home. But a day before the Monday disappearance, he called 911, concerned about the September 11th terror attacks.
I need some police protection immediately.
Okay, for what?
It is of vital national interest. It is related to September 11th, and people want to erase me from the face of the earth. I'm not crazy.
Fremont officers went to the family's home, concerned for Tony Sirigliano's mental well-being.
They made contact with Suzette, had looked at the two boys and made sure that they were okay, and frankly left the contact on the 16th. Just, if you need anything, give us a call. We're here to help.
It wasn't until Suzette Sirigliano's mother, who has dementia, was found wandering the area by a neighbor that police learned that their extended family was worried.
It is kind of scary to think a whole family can just disappear.
The search, now an all-hands-on-deck effort for the department, which is also getting help from Newaygo County and Michigan State Police. Investigators say they believe the family was last seen in a silver Toyota Sienna, but a neighbor tells us that minivan was not their normal car.
I just saw it the first time a couple of weeks ago. The dad was driving it. The boys were kind of looking in the back like maybe it was something they got new or something.
Neighbors are asking the family for a sign if they are safe.
Stay safe. Just if you choose not to come back, that's your guys' choice. I respect that. Just at least let the family know. Gotta take care of Grandma and let friends know.
Now, if you have any
That's kind of an interesting thing to say. If you choose not to come back, we respect that. So let me just share this really quick. Apparently a family member, it looks like, shared this on Facebook. One of the girls in Discord just shared this. So let me share my screen. He was not frantic as the news is stating. Listen to the 911 call. This mental health reporting is upsetting to us, his family. He is not crazy. We thank you. I mean, I have to say, that's pretty bold. I'm going to pull that up here. That's pretty bold for a family member to come out and say this. To me, that would indicate that he doesn't have a history of something like this, because if you know that the two children are with him, if there's any sort of risk that or any sign that he had ever been suffered from mental health issues or paranoia, and you know that he's with the children and that they're at risk, certainly I don't think he would necessarily want to take that completely off the table, which she is definitely saying here. So maybe, I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm going to do my best to try to pronounce this. Hugrun Jostier. Thank you for the super chat. Sorry for probably butchering your name. Me and two older kids are autistic. We are all very well versed in tech and are quick learners. Autism may not mean anything in this case. I would not be surprised if the dad was autistic as well. Certainly, I don't think it necessarily means anything of any sorts. Just wondering, my only question with it was possibly due to him not being able to use the phone or unsure how to use the phone. But yeah, certainly it doesn't mean that that's a key factor in this case. Let's see. In Xanto, 6 p.m. Sunday, his son told my niece that his dad was taking mad honey, a honey made from a drug like flour, talking about Russians spying on him. Okay. God, I don't even know where to go from here. So, I mean, if you're talking about Russians spying on you, the first thought would be paranoid, for sure. Could it be real? I don't know. I've watched The Americans. I don't know. And isn't Mad Honey really hard to get? Like, really hard to get? Kristen Fitzgerald, thank you for the super chat. If sons are autistic, a high chance a parent is. The dad's robotic speech is not uncommon in neurodivergent individuals. It may not be super relevant. Let me see here. I believe both boys were homeschooled as well. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. Let's see. All right, we're going to pull this up. Press conference. This was yesterday, but let's go ahead and watch it.
family was missing?
Well, let's kind of backtrack to even 24 hours prior to that. Around midnight on Sunday morning on October 16th, two of my officers went to the Sirigliano house and had contact with Tony or Anthony Sirigliano. Tony was talking about issues or information that he had regarding the September 11th attacks. But really what my officers were spending a great deal of time doing is talking to him and making sure everybody was safe and trying to make sure that mental illness wasn't putting anybody in jeopardy, because honestly, that's a very abnormal thing to say and make a police report of. My officers spent about an hour, 45 minutes-ish with Tony. They had contact with Suzette as well, and they talked really for quite a while, just making sure that everybody was safe and everybody was fine, and then offered both of them, if they were concerned about anything, to reach out and give us a call, because we'll be here to help them out. When we go to the evening of October 17th around 9 o'clock, another one of my officers was dispatched to a report of a elderly woman who lives with Tony and Suzette. And she suffers from dementia, and she was walking around the neighborhood, and some of the neighbors were concerned. So my officers, through the course of that contact, were able to talk to different family members after noticing Tony and Suzette and the boys were not at home, and therefore unable to provide care for the elderly grandmother. And through the course of investigation, we've been doing be on the lookouts for, in the area, social media pushes, and really an investigation to give us some idea where Tony and Suzette and the boys are. We don't see any signs of violence. We don't see any signs of foul play right now. There's no signs of struggle inside the home. But it's just everyone we've talked to, whether they be a lifelong friend to Suzette or family members, they all describe this to be extremely abnormal behavior from Tony and Suzette. So my office is doing everything we can. This is part of that effort to really reach out to as many media outlets as we can to get the word out that, hey, Tony, Suzette, please let us know that you're okay, and call family, let them know that you're okay.
In that first contact with officers the night before they disappeared, mm-hmm. You said there was some paranoia talking about 9/11. That was talking like the FBI and the CIA, or?
Correct. Tony was asking for the FBI to arrive and CIA to arrive, and wanted the fire trucks to be in his house and things of that nature. And it was really
in his house?
Yeah, at his house, excuse me.
Fire trucks.
It was really just, it's not normal behavior or normal interactions we have with the community. And that's what's leading me to say, Tony was exhibiting some signs of paranoia.
Some viewers have been wondering, why an Amber Alert wasn't issued. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Well, we have all indications right now that, these boys' care providers, both mom and dad, are with them. We don't have any signs of violence or struggle, or that they've been taken by anyone else. So Amber Alerts really have a criteria here in Michigan that's based in law and procedure, and it doesn't fit that criteria.
Did Tony himself call 911 to get police to respond?
On October 16th, he did.
At this point, any indication, that they're close by, that they're out of state? Any knowledge at that point?
We have no indication where they could be. We continue our investigations. We're using every available resource we can, but we don't have any indication if they're still in West Michigan or in Michigan or Midwest or anything like that. And that's why we're trying to reach out to as many people as we possibly can.
Have you tried to check the cell phone?
Yes, that's been part of the investigation.
And there's no signs of ATM use, credit card use?
There's been none.
Have you had previous contact with this family on your project?
We've had one contact last summer. It was one of the boys who had been downtown, and one of the shopkeepers were concerned, but the officers It was not a confrontational type or an enforcement issue. It was, everyone was very amicable and polite and courteous, and that type of contact with somebody is much appreciated. So we don't have any type of prior call history that's anywhere close to what we're dealing with right now.
What's the status of the mother-in-law? How is she doing? Is she being cared for? Or who's caring for her?
Different family members are taking care of her, but she seems to be well cared for right now.
What, you know, and it's this van that you believe. Tell me a little bit about what you think are they still driving this? I mean, is that the last thing they were seen in?
So we know that they own a 2005 Toyota Sienna, which is a minivan. It's silver in color. And that is not in the garage. So talking through different people in our investigation, this is the common vehicle they use.
You know, how unusual does this seem, you know, when you were talking to the family members? Has this father ever run off before or anything like that?
No, everybody is shocked. And I would say that's the best way to describe it. When you talk about and look as part of an investigation, what, you know, is there a prior history of this? Is there any indication that this was going to happen? And we don't have any information like that.
What are officers doing right now, or kind of what's the state of the investigation? You know, what's happening now to try to find the family?
So while we work on financial records with different financial institutions, we're conducting search warrants. We're working with the state police and trying to get assistance with cell phone use. We are doing a variety of different things. The biggest thing right now is trying to get a hold of anybody that has information that would help us locate this family. And we are doing interviews just regularly on that issue.
Do you know how long they've lived in Fremont?
Approximately 4 years. And prior to that, they lived in South Carolina in Jasper County area.
Okay. We've heard North Carolina, sure it's south.
I am.
Okay. And have you talked to any police down there? Any prior cases that might have relevance to this?
We're still working on that.
You know, are you hopeful at this point that they can be found safe and alive?
I am.
What do you want people to do if they might have seen this van?
If you've seen this van or have any information about where the Sirigliano family could be, please contact my department. And if you don't want to leave your name, we also have Silent Observer here in Owego County that you can reach out to as well.
Okay. I don't know if they're able to tell at the house. Can you tell if they took anything with them, like clothes or food or anything?
It's hard to say because we don't have someone that can really give us before or after. But I don't see closets missing, you know, all the clothing or anything like that. If that helped answer that question. Okay.
Anything else you want us to know?
No, we should be all set.
Okay, so a couple of things here. So that one Facebook post where the person was saying that his family, you know, he's not crazy, but then take a look at this, and man, you guys in Discord, you are just on this right now. You guys are just having things fly left and right over here. But his brother spoke out, and in addition to what that officer just said, as far as he wanted FBI at the house, CIA to come, he wanted fire trucks to come, it does sound a little paranoid. And then take a look at this. Tony's brother, Paul, told Local 4 that it's unlike them to be out of touch. They usually wouldn't go even as far as Walmart without letting somebody know. So again, very unlike them. And he said that the 911 call is very concerning. We think maybe he might be having a mental health issue of sorts, and maybe he's scared of something, but we definitely just want to let him know there's nothing to be scared of and that he can reach out and we'll help him. So possibly trying to reassure him, obviously, you know, you're okay, you'll be safe, come back, talk to us, it's okay. It seems like maybe he is suffering from some sort of paranoia or delusions. Let's see here. And the person that was speaking about in the 911 call, when he says, ask Mr. Getting or whatever the name was, he'll tell you I'm a Christian. That's apparently a sergeant within the agency. It's just something about leaving the mother behind. Again, I would think that if you were doing that, it's because you genuinely feel fearful and that you need to flee, and that you possibly don't want to take her with you because you're going to have to sleep in cars, be on the run overnight, possibly move faster. Maybe they were trying to spare her. It seems odd in all of this. It's possible too, because then I'm just thinking like, okay, so when they were in the gas station, the mother and the two sons were in the gas station. The dad was pumping the gas. So the son asked to use the phone, but then didn't know how to use it. Maybe it was a payphone, so he didn't know how to do a collect call, whatever, gives up. Or maybe it was a landline and he didn't know how to use that. Who knows? But if it's the father who is solely suffering from these delusions, why wouldn't the mother at that point intervene and use the phone herself to call for help or to notify the family that they were okay? Again, unless she's suffering from them as well, or like, stand by your man, she believes him, and the boys were trying to reach out for help. Because she was with them in there. Why wouldn't she have called if they truly were in danger and if this was solely the father? And it is beyond strange, yes, to leave an elderly woman with dementia, your own mother, behind without a caretaker in place or anybody to watch her, which part of me wonders if they brought her out of the home into the neighborhood and locked the doors behind them because the doors were locked when they went to the house. Apparently, is it because they wanted somebody to find her quickly and take care of her? Was that the goal, rather than leaving her in the house? If they had left her in the house, how long would it have gone before somebody would have noticed that she was alone in there and maybe have an accident or something, horrible going on in there? So maybe in their minds, the safer bet was to have somebody find her rather than just leaving her in the house. Yeah, the doors were locked. She was found outside roaming the neighborhood, apparently. That's what I mean. Like, is the reason they didn't leave her in the house and the reason they locked the doors because they wanted somebody to find her. If she were in that house by herself, how long would it have gone before somebody would notice that the family's missing, and could something have happened to her inside if she was left alone? Oh, Annie, look at Discord. Wait, this is the gas station info, right? Hold on. Let me go to it. Hold on. All right. Discord's yelling at me, telling me that I need to play this for you. So guys, we're going to play something else for you. Let's see. Oh, this is from 2 hours ago. Okay. All right. Man, if you're not in Discord, guys, you're sleeping on it, because, oh my gosh, these people move so fast. You guys are the best. Okay.
Possible. Ready for it, Chief?
Okay.
Can we have you say and spell your first and last name for us?
My name is Tim.
This is from 2 hours ago.
Tim, and then Rodwell.
Chief of Police.
I am.
Freeport.
No, Fremont.
Fremont, not Freeport.
Yeah, not Freeport, no.
Can you tell me, do you have any updates on the on our family?
So the campaign that we've had working with the media and trying to get the message out about Tony, Suzette, and the boys has seemed to work. We had contact early this morning from a BP gas station manager who believed she had seen the family on Monday, the 17th of October, between 10:40 and 10:55. Since then, we've been able to obtain surveillance video and corroborated her belief, and we do. And we know at this point that Tony, Suzette, and the boys were in the gas station on Monday, October 17th.
In Gulliver, Michigan.
Gulliver, Gulliver.
Is that in the Upper Peninsula?
It is. It's a small village along US 2 on the southern side of Michigan's Upper Peninsula.
Have you personally seen this video?
I have.
Did they look distressed? Do they look okay, happy, sad?
During the video, it looks like one of the boys attempted to use the gas station's telephone. But as far as distressed or any other issues, it's really ambiguous to that.
Did they buy gas? Did they get snacks, water? Did they buy a bunch of water, a bunch of food?
It looks like they filled or put gas into their minivan. So we do know that they at that time were driving the 2005 Toyota Sienna minivan. They had made some other small purchases as well.
Is that minivan registered to them?
It is.
Okay, because we heard yesterday from neighbors that it wasn't a vehicle they usually drove.
They had 3 vehicles inside the home, and the two others had been accounted for.
Okay. Do you know? They wanted me to ask. Sorry. Did Anthony have a record in North Carolina? Do you know of any of that?
I have no knowledge of that.
Okay. Do you know what direction they were headed when they were in the Upper Peninsula?
They were headed eastbound. So US 2 in that area sort of follows that southern border. So when we say eastbound, they may have been going on a northeast direction, but it was eastbound on US 2.
Got it. No indication of where they might be going at?
None.
Is there any indicator in terms of the direction that they would be going, like what the next potential places they would pass through?
So in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, this section of US 2 is between Manistee and what we'll call St. Ignace. It's a very rural area. I mean, there's a lot of the national forest, and I would describe it as a very rural area of Michigan.
Okay, because we have some viewers up there and stuff, so obviously the idea is that we can expect that they're coming to some next spots or something. We can begin to look at that. Has the investigation yielded any reasoning why they would go to the UP? Are they frequenters of the UP, or is this something that's just seemingly kind of out of the ordinary? I mean, just kind of what has been the idea behind it going forward?
The investigation really tends us to believe that, both Tony and Susie just really spent their time taking care of their boys and taking care of the elderly grandmother. We don't know of them taking a lot of, trips other than maybe a day trip to, somewhere near Fremont. But we don't have evidence of camping. We don't have evidence of trips overnight in a hotel or any pattern of behavior like that.
Does this feel spontaneous?
It does.
To go such a considerable distance and everything like that. So
yes, it does.
And the idea.
All right, guys, I just got some more information. I'll share it with you when this video is done.
It's all right. That doesn't let them kind of come back down, or just getting that directional map, I guess.
You'd have to look on the map to really get it, but it brings you closer to the Mackinac Bridge, which we all know is the only entrance to Michigan's Lower Peninsula from the Upper Peninsula. So it would lead me to believe they were headed that way.
I'm so sorry about that. I have news for you after this, but your press release, I guess, is corrupted.
Oh, is it? That's not great.
They asked us if you could resend it.
Okay, I can do that.
Yes. No, sorry about that. Just kind of talking with us and getting that out there. Obviously, it has been beneficial, right?
It's been great. One of the reasons I think we all live in Western Michigan is just that sense of community and that sense of helping each other out. And I think the Sirigliano family needs help right now. And the working with all of your resources and your counterparts has really been beneficial to try and paint a better picture of what's going on here and to get a message out.
Is there anybody else see anything or any other tips you may have received?
We received, I would say, approximately a dozen more tips, but we just cannot corroborate anything else. And some of the tips would involve what I would describe as ambiguous information. Like,
so this was one of your first good, solid corroborated tips.
Correct. It was one of the ones where I could reach back and say I have video, and I've looked at the video myself and can verify it. Some of the other tips have included, a possible gray SUV or a gray van in this, in this state or that state, and it's pretty ambiguous information.
Because how many silver minivans are there?
Right. When you start looking, you'll notice, they're everywhere.
Anything else we should have touched on?
I was just going to ask you for the last thing, like just in terms of now, this has been, such a fast moving investigation, especially with kind of the media getting involved and everything like that. What is kind of your continued call to action as, we reach kind of the height of it, and then, as, things start to develop, like what is just kind of your call to action to the community to like stay invested, stay involved, keep, looking for these people? I just kind of wanted to hear from your side.
My view is we're asking the community just to help this family, and there's the Sirigliano family. From everything I can tell, is a very close family, and they're deeply concerned. And they have members of that family who live all around the country that are coming to Fremont because they are deeply concerned about everyone's well-being. I would ask that everybody in the community just continue the effort of letting us know when they see them and if they've heard from them. And lastly, if Tony and Susie can hear this, that they feel comfortable calling us and letting us know that they're okay.
I'm muted. Sorry guys. God, sorry. Okay, basically what I was saying. Sorry, I was probably muted there for like 5 minutes. So basically what I was saying is that on this other site that I was showing here, let me share my screen again. Gosh, man. Sorry, guys. I should have heard the buzzing in Discord and known something was wrong. I'm telling you, I don't go live all the time. Sorry, God. No, so according to this, they were in Iron Mountain between the 17th and the 19th. And so what I was showing you guys here, which you didn't miss much because I was trying to get it pulled up on my screen, is that Iron Mountain, if we look at where they were last time, this is where they drove up from. Here was the gas station where they stopped, and then Iron Mountain is right here. So it's believed that they were there the 17th through the 19th. Now, something else in the article, it says that not only did they leave the mother behind who suffers from dementia, but they left behind their family pets. So who was going to take care of them? And then another thing, what I was saying when I showed you that chart is that a lot of people were, commenting and saying that all three of the family members, aside from the father, looked very frail, very thin. Could it be some sort of issue of control or something like that? And it may mean nothing, obviously, and it probably doesn't mean anything, but it looked weird to me, so I wanted to share it anyway, is in one of these articles where it talks about the breakdown of the description. They're all 120 pounds, the two kids and the wife. Now, I'm sure that's just an approximation of, they're probably roughly 120, but for people ranging in ages from 15 to 51 to be 120 pounds, that seems weird, kind of weird to me. Again, it might mean nothing. It might just be a huge coincidence, but still, I don't know. Let's see here. Annie's muted. Sorry, guys. Let's see. There's comments apparently that he lost a relative during 9/11. Okay, wait, hold on. What's this? Tony is from New York. The minivan is new and it was seen for the first time a couple of weeks ago. And he's from the Bronx. They moved to Michigan this year. So he's from the Bronx. They've lived all over. They moved to Michigan this year. He just bought a minivan a couple of weeks ago. They left behind the mother who has dementia, their pet. They left behind their pets. They made the weird 911 call. And now they're in Iron Mountain. Man, this is gonna be a bananas one, guys. I can feel it. Let's see. He was into Seventh-day Adventist and ministries. So, let's see. The basic beliefs of Seventh-day Adventists is the basic beliefs of Protestant Christianity, including acceptance of the authority of the Bible, recognition of the existence of human sin and need for salvation, and belief in atoning work for Christ. That doesn't seem very odd, does it? So Iron Mountain, even though it's above Wisconsin, apparently is technically still Michigan. That's interesting. I wonder, are there just certain parts of Iron Mountain? It says Iron Mountain, not Ironwood. Sorry, Discord. Oh! Well, that's interesting. Oh my God, for a second there, Megs, I thought that let me save this image so I can pull it up. I thought you were talking about the Debbie Collier case, and I was like, what? Okay, hold on. Let me go to this. So, might not mean anything. Could mean something, because this doesn't happen to just everybody. You know what? Actually, I have a friend who works there really high up. I should call her. Doubt she'll tell me anything, but we should try. His account was suspended. His Twitter account. And look, I'm not trying to make crazy accusations, but generally when people are tweeting a lot of random or reckless or scary stuff, not that I'm saying freedom of speech shouldn't be there, but a lot of the times when that happens, the account is suspended. Chanel, thank you for the super chat. Annie, so, and I'm trying to get as many comments as possible, guys. And super chats are the fastest because they highlight on my end, so that's what I can see in the huge thread. But I'm trying to get to ones that aren't highlighted as well. So, but if you have something super important that you need to share, that is the quickest way to see it. But I'm trying to get to all of them. Annie, I live in South Sweet Marie. The bridge to Canada is right down the road from me. I will tell you, it's not easy to cross. You need docs and COVID testing, and I know Border Patrol would stop them. Well, and especially if they were in Iron Mountain all the way up until 2 days ago, clearly Border Patrol would have already been informed by now. Let's see. Let's see. Here's another Twitter account that he has with 12 followers. He hasn't posted since 2019. All he's doing is posting the weather. I noticed. Wait, no, so he's lived in Michigan longer because he posted this in 2019. I noticed my odometer was all sevens with a temperature of 7 degrees Fahrenheit, so I bought a lottery ticket shortly after gas refueling. Okay, I'm going to share this, and again, I'm pretty square, but I've never seen something like this. So this is his other Twitter account that apparently is not suspended, but it hasn't been active since 2019. And every single tweet is about the weather. Again, I don't think that means anything. Who's Big Joe that he wants his email address? The heavens declare the glory of God, the skies proclaim the work of his hands. Okay, hold on. So everything he's talking about is weather related. And I don't think this guy just likes the Weather Channel. It seems that there might be something else here, because here he's asking this guy, Big Joe, may I have your email address? I promise not to publish it or abuse it. Oh, God, sorry, guys. Oh, my God, I'm not trying to dox anybody. Sorry. And this is why I don't go live. Just be a good human and don't do anything crazy. Okay, so let's see. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Let's see. He's talking about the weather here 40 minutes ago. Wait, what's this? Oh, no, this is a different Tony. Okay, hold on. Well, this is interesting. Some conversation about nuclear war. More weather. Could this be some doomsday stuff? Like some world is ending? Let me see. Believing the weather will be the end of the world or something? Okay, this just took a turn. He also talks about hurricanes on his Facebook. Check his likes, mentions, and replies, please. Okay, hold on, let me go back to it. Sorry, guys, I don't have a Twitter, so I'm not super familiar with what you want me to look at, so let me just do this. Okay, hold on, let me share my screen. Okay. Let's see. You make me smaller so I can make this bigger. Okay, so his likes. Just these two. You know what amazes me? How the trees are fully stripped of leaves, how many fall with all grass surrounding it. It's insane to see in person. What a disaster. I wish the earliest possible recovery. What's that for? Media. Let's see. I mean, look, all I'm hoping is that this isn't like turning into a Daybell situation on our hands. Let me see. What? Oh, David Koresh was a seventh day? Really? Like Waco David Koresh? Like, I think a lot of us are probably like doing a little bit of a tailspin, but it looks, I mean, to me, an outsider who doesn't know a lot about this stuff and literally never looks at the weather and is usually never dressed appropriately for the weather, I would say this looks a little bit hyper interested in a subject to the point of potential say it? Conspiracy and paranoia, and maybe he does think that the weather is going to end the world. Is there another David crush? No, no, there's not. I don't know, but maybe it's not conspiracy, and maybe we're all the ones thinking it's conspiracy and it's reality. That's what I mean. I don't know. I don't know what's real, what's not. Let's see. Yeah, I know millions of people follow big storms, obviously. What he is tweeting about isn't just and putting on Facebook isn't just following storms or an interest in the weather. Who's scaring people? I'm scaring people? Why am I scaring people? Yeah, that's what I mean, Morna. He just seems to be obsessively following the weather. Now, what that means, I don't know. If there is a longer 911 call, please put the link in the chat so I can play it. I haven't found it. Yeah, he is, yeah, you're correct. He's a financial instrument investor. He watches the market and does trade suggesting. It says that they didn't take any belongings, like closets not cleared out or anything like that. That's what the officer said. That's weird. Okay, let me just show you guys this really quick. Let me make sure there's not any personal information on this. So, obviously, I have some pretty solid sleuths in my Discord. And people who know how to use every type of thing on the internet and find any sort of detail about somebody on the internet. Right, wrong, or indifferent. They are very talented. So let me just kind of show you guys this and take it for what you want. I don't want to put ideas in your head. I'm just relaying the information to you. But based on a search of Anthony, there are two different reports. Both show the same locations. Both show the same family members. Both show the same age, same everything, verified, all of this. The only difference is that one of them has a different middle name. Let me share the other one. Let me see if I can pull them up two at a time, actually. That's actually going to be way better. Hold on, I'm going to do this kind of bootleg here for a second, but I want you to see a side-by-side. Oh, different age. Sorry. 5 years younger. Oh, thank you. Okay, I have the full 911 call. Play it in a second. Let me pull these up. So both reports say the same thing, same relatives, same locations, except one is 51 years old and one is 56 years old. And let me pull these up. And one of them is dead. Just gonna pull up. Whoa, look at that. Okay. Here they are side by side. Same information, different middle name, different age. And the 56-year-old one is now deceased. And then there's a 51-year-old one. Again, not that that means anything. Let's see. Let me pull this up. Oh, that's interesting. Lindsay's saying that maybe they're a witness protection family and they were found. Okay, let's see. Sound. Oh, here we go. Okay, hold on. Let me start it over.
Yes.
Okay.
Newaygo County 911.
Yes. Hello. This is Anthony John Sirigliano, North Michigan Avenue in Fremont, Michigan, 49412.
Okay, what's going on tonight?
Yes. Everyone is okay, but I need the Fremont Police Department, and I believe he is Captain Geating, John Geating.
Sorry, guys. That whole part was redacted. That's why it wasn't playing and why there was no sound.
Immediately.
Okay, for what?
It is of vital national interest. It is related to September 11th, and people want to erase me from the face of the earth. I'm not crazy. Mr. Geating knows me. I'm a Christian. I just need some help, and then the U.S. government will take it from here. I know this sounds crazy. You don't have instructions for this. Please send someone that knows Geating and can talk to the U.S. authorities, please.
Okay. And do you have any weapons there?
No weapons at all, not even a BB gun.
All right. How do we spell your last name?
Sure, it's Cirigliano.
And your phone number?
We have no landline.
Okay. All right. We'll get him over there for you at 823 North Michigan in Fremont, okay?
Okay, can they come with their lights off and not to frighten my children, please?
Yep, definitely.
Okay, I'll look for them, knock on the door, and please try to send Mr. Geating, even if he has to be awoke from his sleep. It's that important,
Yep.
please.
Nope, he's on right now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, that's really odd because hold on, let me stop this. That's odd. That ending where he said, "Come without your lights on. I don't want to scare my children. Wake Mr. Geating, even if he's asleep. It's that important." He definitely does sound very fearful. So apparently when they get to his house, they spent like approximately 45 minutes there. What the hell is happening? This is so weird. New BP gas station video. Okay, let me find it. And Discord, do your thing if you have it first. Let me find it. Gas station. Let's see. Here we go. Let me see if this is the video or just photos. Photos. Let me see. Alicia Catherine, if you have photos, you can send them to tendtolifeinfo@gmail.com. All right, let me see if I can find this new gas station footage. Are you guys talking about new video that was released? Yes. Okay, let me see if I can find this. Let's see, what's this? Is this it? Sorry, I'm looking at this video right now, but there's an ad, so it's taking me a minute to get to it. They left behind pets, plural. Okay, come on, come on. Nope, that's the same footage we already saw. Oh, here we go. All right. God, man, you guys are just the best. Thanks, Janice. Okay. Hold on, pause. All right. New footage coming in hot.
Well, hit record. You're not recording.
I am recording. And they seem to be moving at a pretty leisurely pace, not panicked.
Actually, no. Yeah, I would take a bag. Okay.
Yeah, now they are kind of looking a little standoffish and almost guarded. There's the phone. So it's just a landline. Using his card to fill up. Okay, hold on. All right, let me go over here. Oh, Lindsay is saying the mom is looking at the boy like, now, call now. I think the dad was outside pumping gas the entire time. Let me rewind that a little bit and we can play that again when they go inside. So there's the phone. Oh, he's like looking around, grabs it.
Well, hit record. You're not recording.
I am recording. Maybe he doesn't know who to call. Right there, he's looking down at the phone. It's weird because they're not like I know they bought snacks and food, but they're not like looking and browsing aisles or anything. They're just like standing there. Is there a line? I can't tell where they are in the shop.
Actually, no. Yeah, I would take a bag. Okay.
All right, guys, what are your thoughts seeing that? I mean, obviously, without hearing any audio, it's a little challenging to say what they must have been feeling or thinking, or if they were paranoid or not. Joshua saying the father kidnapped the entire family. But I wonder if that were the case, why didn't she make the phone call? What is this? Justice Janie, really? 10 to Life, check this out. Check what out? Hold on. Oh, the Megan Boswell stuff? Yeah. I know. She has a new attorney now, right? Is that what you're talking about? Okay, let's see. Shannon, thank you for the super chat. See, the kids are behaving normal. Seriously, the pacing, lack of eye contact, looking down, all typical of ASD. I mean, not that this means anything one way or another, but it also doesn't seem like they were dressed to kind of fly under the radar. Both the boys wearing really bright long sleeve shirts that anybody could see from, a mile away. Email sent. Okay, hold on. Let me go to my email. What's this for? All of his addresses? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That just made me remember something I saw. Hold on. Seven Oaks Road. Magellan, Calvary, Michigan. Hold on, sorry guys, keep talking. Anthony John and his wife Suzette. So this was his dad. So his dad is from North Carolina, and he was a pastor at a Seventh-day Adventist church. He died in June 2007 in North Carolina. Wait, that's weird. It says hold on. Okay. I can't be doing this math right. So let me just show you guys what I'm saying. Hold on. And maybe my brain is just completely fried, but this is the dad's father's obit. And he was from Bronx County, New York, aged 56. And this is one of, similar to one of those things we pulled up earlier, but it looks like this is his dad, because if you look right here, it says surviving in addition to his mother is his wife of 37 years, Mary Ann, and his children, Anthony John Sirigliano, and his wife, Suzette. But so how old would Anthony have been in 2007 when he died? If he's 51 now, that's what, 13 years ago? No, 13, 16, no, 13, 16. How does that math equate? That's his son. Am I losing my mind? How does that work? This is in 2007. So 16 years ago, and we know he is 51, right? A lot of you guys are saying witness protection. 50, I know, I'm rounding up to 2023 because the year's almost over. Give me a break. So yeah, okay, so then if you backdate that, he'd be 36 years old, his son. Okay, hold on, guys. Can somebody do the math for me? If he was 36 in 2007, hold on, I have the math going in my head. I need a calculator. My brain is fried. Hold on, actually, I'm just going to use right now. So if he's what, 51 right now, so he was born in 71. He was born, okay, so 30 years old, 20 years old. So his dad was 20 years old when he had him, roughly. Annie, can you please Google and read about the Trump family and how they just left their house one day out of nowhere? It's literally so similar. That was kind of like the McStay family, but I think the McStay family ended up being found and somebody had killed them. I need to look. Yes, I will look, and thank you for that. This is why I don't go live, guys, because I need to do my whole flow chart to make this make sense. Yeah, he would have been born in 71. Let me go back here. So his dad was a pastor at a Seventh-day Church. Then he dies in 07. And again, I don't even know if this literally means anything or not. I'm just talking out loud. So to answer the questions, he would have had him when he was 20 years old, which isn't weird by any stretch. Right? Am I doing that math right? He would have been 20 when he had him. I don't think that that's crazy. Let me see what this is. But I don't know enough about Seventh Day to make a judgment. And so if he was a pastor there, I don't know what their beliefs are. I know some people were saying that Koresh was a believer of that as well, and that they have a little bit of wild beliefs. And somebody was mentioning the whole weather thing and him maybe thinking it's doomsday. So if his father was a pastor, did he take after in his footsteps? Does he have really strong beliefs? But again, I don't know much about that religion to even begin to make any assumptions. Dawn Wells was the 7th day also. Great. He's the same age as his dad when he died. No, because Tony's 51. His dad was 56. I need to look into this family. Effie, thank you for the super chat. I don't think witness protection or they would have taken the mother. Manley was easily reached to take the mother. I don't think witness protection either. I don't think so. I don't think you have any contact with anybody after that. No, I don't think he is the same age as his dad because his dad died when he was 56 and Tony's only 51 unless there is something I'm missing. Man. And if they were in witness protection, I don't think they would call 911. I don't think they would say it's related to 9/11. His dad died, what is that, 6 years after 9/11? He died in 2007 at his home. He was from the Bronx, but now lived in North Carolina. He died of a massive heart attack. What's this? Hold on. I found the church. But again, like gosh, I don't want to go down this. Oh, hold on. Oh, I saw that. Unverified though. It's possible sighting. The boys went to Christian schools as well, but then were pulled out and homeschooled. Let me see what was the name of that school that they were at. Cornerstone Christian Academy. Both the boys were former students there, and then after attending for a few years, they got pulled, and they're doing homeschool. You go to Cornerstone. Is this like a religious thing, guys? I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know, guys. I can't make sense of this, but I've already been on here now 2.5 hours. I have so much I need to go get done. And I know this is the second video for today because I posted one this morning about the 16-year-old who was, get this, seduced by her foster father and like committed a horrific murder with like 200 stabbing. Like, it's really bad. But before I was even going to go live today, I was going to put out a second video about all of the updates with Serenity McKinney. So maybe I'll still put that out tonight and it'll be a 3 a day. We'll see. Yes, let me pull up this picture. Oh, YouTube support. Finally, you're emailing me back 5 days later. Let me see. Okay, possible sighting. Let me save this and open it up. So this is unconfirmed. It's just a possible sighting. But let me share it with you guys. My gosh, I have so many tabs open on this. Here we go. Does anyone know these two young men? They have been on my property, caught on hunting trail cameras. I'm afraid they are going to get hurt since we target shoot and have a friend hunting on our property. The hair doesn't look the same. Not that that means anything. It's really hard to see on this. Okay, so this one is bizarre. Let me right now, while I'm here with my computer, I'm gonna just add a new thread on Discord. Call it Missing Family, so that all of you who are in Discord, and then any of you guys who want to join, there's going to be this private chat right now. Let me start it. There we go. New thread. That way we have a place to talk about all of it. And I know a lot of you guys were asking earlier. So basically Discord is like a private group chat. Think like a chat room from the 90s, but you don't have to give your phone number. You just like create a screen name, and it's just a place where we go. It's an app, and we talk all day long and have a bunch of different like chat room things sectioned out for all the different cases so that we can keep it straight. And so you can click into the ones you're interested in and don't click into the ones you're not. I'm going to have to rewind. We're going to have to rewind what? You can get to Discord through Patreon. It's all linked there, so it'll automatically hook you up once you're on Patreon. And the reason we did it that way is because when it was open to literally everyone, it's like all of the trolls were coming in. It got chaotic. It got crazy. So now, because it's filtered through Patreon, it's a little bit safer of a place where people feel like they can actually be themselves and talk, and it doesn't get wild. It's more controlled. So that's the way we do it that way. Okay, guys. So me and the Discord crew, we're going to follow this super closely, and I'll let you guys know as soon as we have more updates. I would imagine that we're going to probably start getting some news in the next few days because it seems like new information is trickling in. So as soon as we learn that, I'll let you know. Meanwhile, I will go ahead and push out that third video today. I'll put that out in about an hour. So if you have been following the Serenity McKinney case, it's just horrible. The autopsy came back. The whole thing's bad. And I have the interview with her dad in there as well. It's bad news, but I'll put that up there too. And then other than that, I'm going to be with my fam for the weekend, and I will see you guys bright and early on Monday. All right. I will talk with you guys in Discord. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you going through this casual vibe live with me. It was fun. We have to do more of these. All right. Have a great weekend, and I will talk with you guys all soon. All right. Bye.